the nine-tailed fox 16 years ago. Unjust suspicions grew that the Uchiha had tried to stage an insurrection and seize power to take over leadership of the village. As a result, the Uchiha were put under strict surveillance by the Anbu Black Ops and were forced to relocate to the outskirts of the village. They became completely isolated. Distrust bred hatred, and eventually their suspicions became reality. The Uchiha clan started plotting a coup d'etat to take over the village. And so the Hidden Leaf's leaders planted a spy within the Uchiha clan to watch us. That spy was your older brother, Itachi Uchiha. And that's when Itachi's suffering began.
An Uchiha coup d'etat. And Itachi, was he really a spy?
Despite being an Uchiha, you were told nothing. Because you were so young. But it's all true. Your father, Fugaku, was the mastermind of that planned coup. And Itachi was a spy who entered the Anbu Black Ops on your father's orders. However, it was actually the opposite. Itachi was supplying the village with intelligence on the Uchiha. In other words, he was a double agent. You can't even imagine what a heavy burden that was to bear.
But why? Why would Itachi betray the Uchiha?
You may never understand his reasons, because you've never lived through the horrors of war. The Third Great Ninja War, when Itachi was merely 4 years old, he saw many people die. He should have never had to experience war at such a young age. War is hell. That trauma turned him into a pacifist who hated warfare. One who had the peace and stability of the village foremost in his mind and actions. Instead of being bound by obligation to his clan, he was a ninja devoted to his village, and the village leaders exploited that trait. They assigned him to a top-secret mission, an eye for an eye, for they'd need the Sharingan to face the Uchiha. That's right. The mission was the eradication of the entire Uchiha clan. What must Itachi have gone through emotionally when he learned of his assignment? Itachi was faced with a terrible choice. The decision to raise his hand against his fellow brethren was probably an unbelievable struggle. But if ninja the caliber of the Uchiha were to revolt, the Hidden Leaf village and the Land of Fire would be shaken tremendously. Other nations would take advantage of the situation and invade. It could easily become the trigger for the Fourth Great Ninja War. The Uchiha clan's self-interest would embroil innocent people who had nothing to do with the shinobi world. And countless people would die once again. If you were Itachi, what would you have done? So he made up his mind. He himself would drop the curtain on his own clan's history. Of course, he did not hate the Uchiha. He simply did what he had to. The discrimination by the village and the object of their antagonism. He shouldered all the blame himself. No one should ever question Itachi's decision and the sacrifices he made. To be truthful, back then I had also been quietly plotting war. I held grudges against the Senju-led Leaf, as well as the Uchiha. And Itachi had picked up on that. He alone knew of my existence. He sought me out and made me a proposal. In exchange for letting me carry out my vendetta against the Uchiha, I was to leave the village alone. He would aid me against the clan. The third Hokage tried to resolve the situation through other means. He attempted to open negotiations with the Uchiha to reach a compromise. But time ran out, and his efforts failed. The night drew near. He knew his fate. To become known as a criminal who murdered his own clan, to bear the burden of disgrace and become a rogue ninja, all of that was part of the mission. Itachi completely fulfilled his duty, except for one single mistake. He could not bring himself to kill his younger brother. Afterwards, Itachi appealed to the third Hokage, beseeching him to protect you from Danzo and the counselors. He fled the village after threatening Danzo. If anything were to happen to you, Itachi would leak all the intelligence he had on the Hidden Leaf to unallied nations. He worried about you above all else, and yet he could not tell you the full truth, so he told you as much as he could. He gave you a reason to seek revenge against him, and hoped it would make you stronger. He wanted you to believe that the Uchiha was a proud clan from the Hidden Leaf village. He begged the Hokage to make sure you would never learn the truth, and from the moment he left the village, he resigned himself to battling you to the death, in order to bestow upon you new powers. That is Itachi's truth.
No. You're lying. It's got to be a lie. It just has to be. It's all nonsense. Itachi tried to kill me many times.
If Itachi really wanted to kill you, you'd most certainly be dead.
He even used the Mangekyo Sharingan against me. There's no question he was trying to kill me.
Even your contingency plans were factored into his calculations. He had to pressure you hard during that battle. Surely you figured out why. You understand it now, don't you? He wanted to free you of the curse mark and the death of the one closest to you. It was a battle to awaken your Mangekyo Sharingan. Itachi carefully set up everything in that battle, diverting your attention from the truth by pretending to the very end that he was stealing your eyes. You're starting to see the truth.
You're lying. I know it. You sent the Nine Tails to attack the Hidden Leaf. Itachi told me that it was all your doing. You laid false charges against the Uchiha, and you teamed up with Itachi to toy with our clan.
Itachi was lying when he told you that, just as I've explained. He was gripped with fear that you would somehow discover the truth. He wanted to make absolutely certain there was no chance of that. He fed you lies to make sure you wouldn't trust me. He even implanted Amaterasu in your eyes.
There's no way that I'd ever believe you! Itachi was pure evil! He was a criminal who slaughtered our clan and became an Akatsuki!
He took the burden of all this on himself and fled his birth village. Then he joined the Akatsuki to spy from inside on the organization that threatened his village. He always had the welfare of the Hidden Leaf in his mind, just as he always thought of yours as well, Sasuke. Itachi appeared in the Hidden Leaf village after the death of the third Hokage, who had promised to be your protector. He wanted to remind Danzo and the counselors that he was still alive and still very much a threat. He wanted to make sure—
Stop it! More lies! Everything you say is a lie!
You're still alive, aren't you? Those eyes of yours did not perceive a single truth about Itachi. You weren't able to pierce through any of the illusions he created. Itachi killed his friends, his superiors, his lover, his father, his mother. But he couldn't kill his little brother. He killed every shred of feeling in his heart in order to slaughter his own kin for his village. But he just couldn't bring himself to kill you. Do you understand what that means? To him, your life was even more precious than the village. Until the moment of his death. No, even after he died, it was all for you, to confer on you new powers. By allowing you to defeat him, he had avenged the Uchiha clan. He made you the hero of the Hidden Leaf Village. Ravaged by illness, painfully aware of his impending death, he forcefully prolonged his life with medication. All for the sake of his beloved little brother. Because he had to fight you and die in your presence. For the peace of the Hidden Leaf Village, and most of all for you, Sasuke Uchiha. He wanted to die being known as a criminal and a traitor. He accepted disgrace in the place of honor, and hatred in the place of love. And yet, Itachi still died with a smile on his face. He bequeathed to you the Uchiha name,